Top five new jobs for the fired head coaches. So these are all jobs that I've plugged them into for the coaches who've been let go. Because they didn't forget how to coach. They were just in a spot where it didn't fit. Number 5, Paul Chryst. Was it Wisconsin? How about the Iowa State offensive coordinator? Think about him and Matt Campbell in the same room. That's two really great coaching minds. And Paul Chryst was doing a great job at Wisconsin until he wasn't. I mean, it just...
Yeah.
Like, they were... That
was quick.
Similar recruiting base, right?
Right.
Wisconsin, obviously a little bit bigger at that than Iowa State, but, you know, you're kind of in the same region. Not kind of, you are in the same region. And similar philosophies. So Iowa State could still be who they are with just a bit of a refresh.
Right.
And so I think it's a good fit. Now, if that's what he wants to do, he doesn't have to. He could be a head coach, I'm sure, at a lot of other places if he wanted to. But if he wanted to get back in the coordinator game, I think Iowa State would be a great fit for him.
I like that. And again, it happened quickly at Wisconsin. And maybe there was some stuff already going on that we didn't know, but he did a nice job, but they could see it kind of slipping away. And
and if you're going to model yourself after somebody, Barry Alvarez, you know, kind of copying that model Iowa State, maybe not be a terrible idea. So.
And Iowa State, you know, Decker throws the ball a lot. They've struggled this year. They finally got a win. That's really who I always thought they were going to be, was a team, again, they had Brees Hall,
David Montgomery, back to back.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's what he was doing. They were running back you up there at Wisconsin too.
Golly,
so
they had some
even
good.
more so. I mean, and plus the way
how's that kid doing this year? The running back from Wisconsin who had so much hype coming into the season. Didn't they have a stud coming back at Wisconsin? Yeah. And of course, their season has kind of been iffy, but
yeah. Number 4, Geoff Collins, who was at Georgia Tech. West Virginia defensive coordinator. This is assuming that Neil Brown stays and there are staff turnover there. But a really good defensive mind. Crawled up the ladder to be a head coach. That sounds bad. Climbed up the ladder by being a defensive coordinator. I don't think this would be a terrible fit.
Yeah, it's not far away. He knows the area. He's been recruiting. You know, I don't know about how much they recruit in that area.
But he was the DC at Mississippi State before, too. So,
by the way, Braylon Allen, he's had a good year. 989 yards and 10 touchdowns despite Wisconsin's issues. So, okay.
Yeah. I like it. I just think that, you know, brings some fresh experience there, and some head coaching experience could probably also help Neil Brown out a little bit there, too. Number 3, Scott Frost, checking into the Nick Saban coaches rehabilitation program. And I say offensive assistant because I don't know what's going to happen with Bill O'Brien. It seems like he's, with all the rumors and his name out there, you would think his agent's the one who's been floating all that he wants to be a head coach again. So this could be the offensive coordinator job, or this could be an offensive assistant job. But I think Scott Frost needs to jump into the Nick Saban.
It never hurts anybody. I don't know. I got something in my eye. I'm sorry. I don't know anybody who has done that did not get kicked out the other side with a better opportunity.
Yeah. So
the Bill O'Brien thing, it makes me a little bit nervous. I'm hoping, as a fan of Nebraska, that's not who they end up with. That's a retread. That's boring.
It's obvious.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, no. I don't like that. I don't like it either. I want something, if I'm Trev Alberts, I want something new and exciting. And again, maybe it's, like I mentioned, Jason Candle from Toledo. Like, maybe it's hiring a guy from Toledo or something. Just do that, do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be. I know that he probably feels pressure to be like, let's get Nick Saban up here, or who's just like him. Like, it doesn't have to be that. It has to be the right guy.
Yeah. And
not the most famous
Here's
guy.
the thing. No matter how much of a wreck it was, the hype that came with it and the wreck that it was, and you had a quarterback who was pretty damn dynamic, and he had some moments, but he had a lot of other moments that were bad. That was a disappointment. I will always, no matter what he did or not, that son of a gun helped them win a national title in 1997.
Number 2, Bryan Harsin, Colorado head coach. This is a very moribund program in Colorado. Bryan Harsin did a great job at Boise State. That's why he got the job at Auburn. It's, more towards the Boise area. It's the Pac-12. Like, he probably should have been a Pac-12 coach before he was an SEC coach. But que sera, sera. Also, what's Colorado going to tell him to do? Like, is that alumni base going to get crazy and get in his life? No, they all smoke weed. It's going to be fine.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, I think.
Why are you looking at me, Smokey? You're the one whose name is Smokey.
But
I smoke an occasional cigar when I'm playing golf, and that's about it.
But I do think this is a good fit. If I were Colorado, Harsin, I did a top 5, but Harsin, Tom Herman, guys like that. I want somebody who's been a head coach before, and knows how to run a program, but has, maybe needs a little less pressure than the place that they were.
He's coached in the Mountain Time.
Yeah.
Right at Boise.
Yeah. So, I think that'd be a great hit. So, Bryan Harsin, next job, Colorado head coach. By the way, if I get any of these right, I will victory lap it. If I get all 5 of these right.
You got to call our buddy that's the coaching search firm.
Yeah, I know. Ninus needs to hire me. Number 1, Geoff Scott, Texas A&M offensive coordinator. He and Tony Elliott ran one of the best offenses in the country when they were both at Clemson. Both of them gone now. Look, he's been in Dabo's system, which is somebody that Jimbo was dealing with when they were both in the ACC together. They of course played home and home a couple years ago as well. And runs a really, easy offense for quarterbacks. Plus, he's been part of the development of some really good ones and recruitment of really good ones. He was involved in recruiting Trevor Lawrence. Didn't coach him very long, but he was there. Deshaun Watson, present status notwithstanding as a college quarterback, he was one of the guys who went in there and got Deshaun Watson. That's what A&M needs. I think this is... I should call Jimbo right now and go, Geoff Scott should be on your campus tomorrow. Get that done. Make him your offensive coordinator. It brings a different kind of voice into the SEC. And always, I think sometimes the SEC conference do they've not been in this conference. Well, that's maybe exactly why you should bring him in.
Right.
And yeah, I think Geoff Scott, an offensive coordinator next year, somebody's going to make a really good decision and bring him in because he's a really good play caller. His issue at USF probably wasn't play calling as much as it was talent. And but I think Geoff Scott to A&M as the OC would be a great move. I know A&M wants him to go hire Garrett Riley, which if they did also would be a great move. There's a ton of A&M fans I hear that from all the time. But this one, you don't really have to fight anybody for him necessarily.
No, you
Just
don't.
Go get him.
No, you don't. All right, there you go. Jacob, one more time, the Baylor Athletics